Welcome back, lovely. So I'm going to do a quick video. Hopefully this time we don't have issues because I have filmed this, basically this exact video. This will be my third time, I'm not sure. But last time I lost the majority of the sound. So it was just recording the screen, no sound. So hopefully this time we're good. So if you hear me pause, it's probably because I am looking at the little microphone thing to make sure that this is actually recording properly. Okay, so this is going to be a really short video. I'm just going to show you that basically any of the document types in Polly are a chat window. So you can use any of the documents in Polly as a chat window very easily. And so we're just going to go over that really quickly today. This is one of the newer themes. This is Flowers in Spring. And we are just going to dive right in. So right now, I'm just going to switch this because we're just doing a little quick guy. I'm going to go all, and I think there are some, actually, this is a great time to go over the fact that every once in a while, you're going to want to refresh your models in the back end, especially if you know that there are some new models that have hit Open Router. The models are cached. So you do want to periodically refresh those guys. So if you go into settings and go into AI settings, we're just going to hit refresh models. And as long as this is a valid key that's been saved, we're going to get this little alert that there are 343 models that have been loaded. And so now we can go back to our project, open this guy, and I believe there are some free guys that are new. Oh, these are my free ones, or my favorites rather. Okay, so let's go through. I wanted to try the Minimax because I haven't tried this for writing at all. And so we're just going to chat with Minimax, which is a newer model that does have a free version. I believe one of these Mistrals is also new. It might be the Nemo one. But anyway, we're going to play with Minimax right now. And I'm going to check. So we've got a 0.8 temperature. I'm actually going to turn that to 0.7. And we've got a 8,000 max tokens, which is totally fine. So we're going to save settings. So we've got Minimax loaded. And basically, if I were entering into ChatGPT and I had a quick question, this is what I would do. It just looks a little bit different in here because it looks like a word processor. So I'm going to open my prep doc. I'm going to hide my sidebar because we don't really need that open right now. And then I've got my favorites, which I do have a Go words before. There's a regular Go that also has active docs. You can have that on if you want. You just need to make sure that if you have any active documents, that is something that you want the chat to access. So just having a words before is just basically an enter button in the chat. So that's basically what we're going over, is that words before is basically just the enter button on any chat, whether it's Abacus or Claude or ChatGPT. So I'm going to, let's talk about pitches. I have an idea for doing cozy horror with romance. I would like to explore female revenge. If you know me, this is one of my favorite tropes in horror, is just like female revenge where there's like a happy ending. I love that. Lost Girls by Sonia Hartle is actually a young adult book, but it is basically, it's all about female revenge and it's queer and I love it. So highly recommend. So I'd like to explore female rage in the pitches. They should be high concept. And what else? And have HEA endings. Can be a little gritty. But only bad people die. Okay, and let's see, and I would like 5 ideas, please. And I haven't used Minimax, so this will be an experiment with this model because I haven't played with this model at all. Okay, so I like to add a couple new lines. This just makes it a little bit easier for me to see where I was talking versus it. And then go words before is the enter. So I'm just going to hit that right now. And we are going to generate, and we'll see how quick this is. Some of the free models do take a good bit to get going. Others are really fast, like Llama, Maverick, and Scout are the ones that I use a lot in testing Polly because they're pretty fast and responsive. That wasn't too bad though. That was definitely faster than like Gemini Pro or any of the thinking models, because those do take a good bit to load often. It can be a good minute sometimes. Okay, so we've got 5 ideas rolling in. So I'm going to hit approve so that we can read through these. Oh, so that's already interesting, is this does not format the same way. So a lot of them would format in Markdown, so there'd be like some bolds here. But this, it did give us a heading. It gave us an H, probably an H2. I would say that's an H2. Okay. Echo Hollow, a coastal town locked in perpetual fog. Its winter hush becomes a listening room where accusations have weight. Village librarian can lead guilt back to those who owe it, using heirloom glass bells that tint blue in the presence of concealment. Okay. So that's interesting. Florist grows night blooming lilies that reveal misdeeds when smelled. Okay, that's a little bit out there. Night shift nurses at a small clinic run a wish list booth, whispering about your worst acts. Whispering about your worst act wins you a quiet correction. Okay, don't know what that means. Sleep technician sells bespoke plans for deep rest. Nightmares begin where you last told the truth. Predatory therapist at a wellness retreat weaponizes breathwork and boundary crossing treatments. Truth finds its own level. They sleep too deep. Okay, so this is interesting. These are pretty weird, and I turned down the temperature. So Minimax might be kind of a weird one. Let's switch to something a little bit more normal. Let's switch to Deep Sea can sometimes take a good while to respond. So I'm going to, let's play with Nemo instead. And I'm just going to remove this. And this is one of the reasons that I wanted to do this video, is because when you are in a chat window, if I wanted to start this over because that was really weird, I would need to open a new chat. In here, you just need to delete what you didn't like and then give it another whirl, basically. So, okay. Blackwood. Emma, let's see. Amelia Mia Thompson. Blackwood name is just one that it loves. Julian is also one that I've seen quite a bit. Patels are very frequent. So we're getting some very AI names. Asher is all over the place. Clara as well. Maya Singh. Okay. So this one actually has the romance, which I don't feel like the other one like got the romance thing at all. But again, it was a test because I haven't used that one, that model before. All right, so let's see. Amelia Mia Thompson, a talented but wronged baker from a lineage of witches. Mia returns to her hometown of Blackwood to enter the annual bake-off, seeking revenge against the corrupt town council members who sabotage her family's bakery, leading to her mother's death. Okay, so that sounds interesting. Let's see. Introverted librarian with a talent for potion making, Sophia seeks to avenge her best friend's murder by uncovering the dark secrets within the town's elite literary society. Ooh, I like that we kind of have maybe a cult going on. Julian St. Clair, a charming rival librarian with a penchant for rare books and a soft spot for her sharp wit. Haunted library stacks, cursed manuscripts, lethal book club meetings where the guilty are forced to confront their own stories, gruesome endings. Okay, I really like this, so we're going to grab this. So I'm just going to, actually, I don't really even need to copy in this. Okay, so I'm just going to say, I really like number 2. And that was something with potions, right? Love potions and lethal librarians. Can you expand on that idea with a act by act summary? 1 paragraph per act. Thanks. And then we'll just go before again. So now it's going to flesh this out for us. And you can see that this is basically just like a regular chat window. I think that's already probably pretty clear to everybody. Oh, so this has 5 acts, so that's interesting. Hailed as heroes. Okay. So now let's... I've been doing a lot of these videos and I swear my voice is not having it. I need to get some lozenges or something for doing a bunch of these videos back to back. Okay, so we have some fun ideas for each act. So that's great. And now I'm going to say, okay, we need better names though. Can you come up with new names that are less on the nose for the main characters and the location? Give me 10 each. And go before. So now it's going to give us different names. Caspian. They love a Caspian. To be perfectly honest, I generally don't use AI for names at all. There's actually a naming resource book by Sherilyn Kenyon that I use, I would say like 9 times out of 10. Or I'll do like kind of a half and half with some of like the names of like a club, like in this case, or a location. But a lot of times for locations, I literally look at a state and actual cities, and then I just kind of merge names together. I found that to be better. And then I use a naming resource book for actual character names most of the time. Maverick Swift is kind of a fun. Dessa Rose, that's kind of a fun name. I do feel like to some degree, some of the models have gotten better at naming, but you usually do have to go a little bit deeper than whatever it gives you first, because those are usually stand-ins. So we have some interesting ones. Let's see. Location names. A lot of these are very AI. Lindenwood isn't bad. And the Ridgeway Institute. I feel like that's an actual thing, maybe? That name sounds familiar. The Nightingale Network, I kind of love because it's a literary thing. Crescent Bay would definitely have to go. Maybe Linden Bay? Linden Bay might work. Okay. So there we have that. Now, actually, you know what? I'm going to go into something that I really like. Okay, so she was supposed to be avenging. I think she was supposed to be avenging. Okay, so one of the things that we can do really quick, because again, you can't do this in a regular chat, is I'm going to remove all of the ideas that we didn't go with. So I'm going to remove 3 through 5, and I'm going to remove 1. And I'm also going to keep that because it gives kind of what I'm looking for. Okay. And then we've got the summaries. Okay. So now I'm going to say, oh, and I was looking to see what was happening. Yeah, Friend's murder. Okay. So let's brainstorm the Friend's murder. How did she die? What does it have to do with the society? And then let's just pick names really quick. Marlo Quinn and Gideon Stone. It loves a nickname for the women too. I've noticed that definitely. We're just gonna go with this. Actually, you know what? Haven Wells and Beckett Grant sounds so crazy. I'm into that. Okay. For the names, and Linden Bay for the town, and I'm gonna copy and paste this instead of typing out Nightingale. Okay. Okay. And come up with additional questions for me to answer to make this a stronger idea and setup. We also need microtropes and some universal fantasies, please. And we are just going to go. Updated names, great. Friend murder details, Rachel Kim, Haven's best friend, and fellow librarian at the Linden Bay Public Library. Poisoned Page. Rachel was researching an extremely rare, allegedly cursed book. Ooh, I love the idea that the book Keltar. She was found dead in the library's hidden reading room. Okay, we'll approve this. A space rumored to be lined with enchanted mirrors. Oh, that's creepy. Nightingale sings only for the worthy. Silence is not the option. Okay. Additional questions. This is something, by the way, if you're working on any genre, having it come up with questions for you to answer gives more human input. I think it's a really great way to go deeper on whatever idea you're going into. So we have like, what is the historical significance? How does it tie into the Nightingale Network's origins? How does Haven's background in potion making, initially love potions, evolve throughout the story? What are the risk consequences of using these potions? What personal stakes does Beckett Grant have in investigating the network beyond his attraction to Haven? Okay, so these are great questions that I would definitely go through, and I would number these 1 through 8, and then I would go through each one and answer it. And then we have microtropes, forbidden tomes, mysterious library networks. I think that this is fun. Like a society operating within or around libraries. I would probably make them like, I would almost want to make them the good guys though. I might even make that like a twist where the Nightingale Network, like she thinks that they're evil, but maybe they're not. Like maybe they were trying to help save Rachel, and it made it look more like they were the ones behind her death. Have a little bit of a redirect. I think that would be fun, especially since we have like mystery elements here. This actually kind of has more of a urban fantasy feel than horror to me, but you could lean into the horror as well. Universal fantasies: love conquering dark past, empowerment through knowledge, community redemption, self-discovery, uncovering hidden truths. So anyway, like I would flesh this out further, obviously. I would answer these questions. I would go deeper on these fantasies and the microtropes. Like I would maybe even tweak these microtropes. I would definitely potentially, like I said, turn the secret librarian societies and the networks into something maybe that is a misdirect instead of having that be the obvious answer about the death. I like the idea of a curse book. But these are things that I would go through and I would chat through, probably a very long chat, about these different things. But again, one of the things that is great about doing this inside of a document is then I can remove anything that we decide not to go with. So at the end of all of this, I could then go through and have it, I would select everything and I would have it say, okay, like I've already removed what we don't want to use. And can you format this into a blueprint, a story blueprint? And we're going to get into that more as we add the outlining view to Paging Polly. But if I bring this back, we have a blueprint file type. And that blueprint file type, actually, I'm going to create one. Oh, I actually have one already. So the blueprint file type is going to be something that is going to be able to be parsed. So like I have all of this information, I would select everything. There will be a prompt specifically for the blueprints that will show you, that will figure out the format it needs, and then it will distill all of that information into a proper blueprint markdown. And then that's going to be parsed into individual files. So you would have this really long document that you're going to talk to, and then you would have it break it out into each character would get its own character file. Your style, tone, genre, all of those things are going to go into a style file. Anything having to do with world building will go into world build. And then you'll have the outline go into an outline file that you can then play with in the outline view. So this is something that we're working on as the next update, but we're going to be doing a bunch of videos just on using Polly as is to really do an entire story from start to finish first. And then we're going to start rolling out the outline features. But I wanted to get this going so that you could see that really, even though it looks very different than a chat window that you're used to, you can really ask a question here, go words before, and it's just like you're talking to a chat. And you can switch to your heart's content with different models, really test and try these different models out. And you can really use this the same way, really, that you already are using Claude or something like that, but you have a lot more control. And then once you have these pieces, you can turn on those pieces. So this is how you would toggle on that blueprint, and then you can use that while you're writing the chapters, but you can also very easily turn it off. And then we have all these variables to pull in just blueprints or pull in just ideas. So if I had a whole bunch of ideas, maybe I just like have a file where I'm like, oh, I have this idea for the story and I haven't gone into it yet. But then I have these 3 idea files. If I go in here and I create a new prompt and show variable helpers, I can use the ideas and say, look through all of these ideas and then come up with 5 pitches. And then I can start my brainstorming right from there. All right. And I will see you in the next one. When we get into more of how to flesh out an entire story from start to finish. We'll be doing it a real-time series. So we'll be going through the brainstorming process and then going through the drafting process so that you guys can see how you can write a full novel start to finish in Polly. And we'll see you in the next one.